Today's video is going to be very exciting for me. I love to read. I've never liked to read until maybe 2-3 years ago, but I seriously do not know what happened to me during COVID because I went on a huge reading spree all of 2020 and 2021. In 2020, I read, I believe it was, in 2021, I read 100 plus books. I do not know the exact number because I'm terrible at logging everything I read on Goodreads. I'm not going to give a synopsis or anything on it, but I'm just going to be simply showing the book, saying the title, and maybe give a description on some of them or like when exactly in the year I read it, and we'll just go from there. You have all my books I read last year in this scary pile. I'm currently covering my camera with this Valentine's Day of my card to show you guys the complete mess. I destroyed my room together, every single book I read. My bookshelf is all torn apart. That bookshelf still has some that I read, and here is the pile. Do you remember for a fact that the very first book I read in 2021 was Jojo Moyes' Paris for One? Book number 2, The Handmaid's Tale. Book number 3 was Pride and Prejudice. Book number 4 was The Ship of Brides by Jojo Moyes. Book number 5 was Silence. My dad actually told me to read this because we watched the movie with Andrew Garfield and Adam Driver and Liam Neeson. Book number 6 was A Court of Thorns and Roses. Number 7, The Southern's Book Club Guide to Slaying Vampires. 8 was We Were Liars. 9 was an anthology, actually. It's called Too Much Not the Mood. Book number 10 was A Farewell to Arms by Ernest Hemingway. 11, we have The Bell Jar. I read this only because of Rory Gilmore. 12, we have Harry Potter and the Cursed Child. My dog bit the corners, so that's why it looks pretty effed up. 13, we have Just Mercy by Bryan Stevenson. This is definitely a 5 out of 5 stars. 14 is Before I Fall. 15, The French Exit. 16, The Secret History. This one, Grab Tissues. I'm not even kidding. This one was 17, I believe. 18 was No One Asked for This by Miss Cassie Davis. I personally loved this one because especially with the first chapter is what got me on a hook. The first, essay is called Mean Sister, and it reminded me of my twin sister perfectly. 19 was Girl, Woman, Other. 20 was H.G. Wells' The Invisible Man. My mom was terrified of that movie. 21, we have Catcher of the Rye. 22, we have Elevation. I read this in 30 minutes. 23 was The Age of Innocence. 24 was What My Mother and I Don't Talk About. 25 is Bad Feminist. This is another 5 out of 5 stars. 26 is The Girl with the Pearl Earring. 27 was Ornament in Silence. 28 is Once Upon a Secret. This one, it pissed me off, but I really liked it. 28 was The Man Who Mistook His Wife for a Hat. I actually started reading this because of Lucy Boynton. Number 30 is my favorite book of all time, Love, Rosie. Makes me cry every single time. 31 is Such a Fun Age. 32 was Once Upon a Time in Hollywood by Quentin Tarantino. 33 is The Perks of Being a Wallflower. Oh my god. Book 33 is Dr. Sleep. Right now, I'm just wondering how many times I messed up on the numbers because I know I did again after that, but I never realized that I actually did it beforehand. But I mean, I recorded this yesterday, so it's not like I can go back and re-record it with all the numbers and everything. So I'll just put, little thingies on the corner to make it look easier so you guys can understand better because I screwed up. Book 34 is Sense and Sensibility. You really can't see it because it's kind of blurry. Book 35 was You. Book 36 was They Both Die at the End. Book 37 was Wind Fallen by Miss Jojo Moyes. Book 38 was The Testaments, and book 39 was Northanger Abbey. Sorry, I forgot the name of it. Books 40 to 44, the first series I read this year, which was The After series by Anna Todd. Book 45 was The 7 Lives of Evelyn Hugo. 46 was 1984. 47 was Beach Read by Emily Henry. 48 was P.S. I Love You by Cecilia Ahern. 49 was People We Meet on Vacation by also Emily Henry. 50 was a reread from a book I read in 8th grade. It's Night. 50. Again, next time I'm gonna have a log so I can just cross them out as I go. It was Beautiful Boy. 51 was Hacksaw Ridge. 53, I read Dune, and this was probably the most complex book I've ever read. It's the book that's taken me the longest to read. I want to say it was around 2.5 to 3 weeks. 54, we have The Fall of the House of Usher and Other Writings by Mr. Edgar Allan Poe. 55, we have Just Kids. 56, we have one of my favorite books of all time, Ready Player One. 57, we have another one of my favorite books of all time, which is Shutter Island. 58, we have another one of my favorite books of all time, and it is The Woman in the Window. 59, we have The Last Letter from Your Lover by Jojo Moyes. 60 was Ugly Love by Colleen Hoover. 61 was It Ends With Us, also by Colleen Hoover. 62 was Lolita. 63 was a reread from freshman year of high school, which is The Immortal Life of Henrietta Lacks. 63 was Animal Farm by George Orwell. 64 was The Shining by Stephen King. 65 is November 9, which I actually read on November 9 by Colleen Hoover. 66 I read was Still Me, also by Jojo Moyes. 67 was After You by Jojo Moyes. 68 was Me Before You by Jojo Moyes. 69 was Silver Bay by Jojo Moyes. 70 was The Giver of Stars, also by Jojo Moyes. 71 is The Girl You Left Behind by Jojo Moyes. 72 is 1+1 by Jojo Moyes, and this is actually my favorite book copy of all time because my sister got it for me for Christmas and it's signed. 73 is Sheltering Rain, also by Jojo Moyes. 74 is The Zodiac. 75 is, I actually took off the cover, which I'm now regretting so much, but it's The Prisoner of Azkaban. 76 is another one of my favorite books of all time, and it is Misery by Stephen King. 77 is Little Women. 78 is Conversations with Friends. 79 is Normal People. 80 is Black Swans. 81 is another one of my definitely 10 out of 10 reads, and that is Defending Jacob. 82 we have Spring Awakening. 83 we have Death of a Salesman. 84 we have, okay, I do not know if it's Desire or Desiree. My sister and I have been going at it almost for the past year, and I've tried looking up YouTube pronunciations the way other people say it, but I've heard other people say both. I think this is 85. It's Elias Grace by Queen Margaret Atwood. 86 is In Cold Blood. 87 is Breakfast at Tiffany's. 88 is The Notebook. I actually saw the movie for the very first time last year, and it had me sobbing my eyes out. 89 is The Nickel Boys. 90 is the second book of the Night series. I'm trying to look for it. That is Night, and then here's Dawn. I still have to read Dusk. That'll be the last part of that series. 91 is Nothing to See Here. 92 is The Radium Girls. 93 is The Goldfinch. I have very mixed emotions about this one, but for the most part, I thought it was okay. 94 is The Knife of Never Letting Go. It is the book version of the movie Chaos Walking. I definitely like the book better than the movie. 95 is The Crucible by Arthur Miller. 96 is 4 Past Midnight, and I think this was the biggest book I read in 2021. 97 is The Revenant, and when it comes to like the movie adaptation and the book, I would say they're about the same because they are genuinely amazing. 98 is The Beautiful and the Damned by F. Scott Fitzgerald. 98 is Gone Girl, which was brilliant. 99 was A Stolen Life, and I really, really appreciate and like this one. 101, 102, and 103 are the Crazy Rich Asian series, and these are definitely one of my favorite series of all time because I think they're so funny and awesome. 104 is The Circle. 105 is The Stranger in the Lifeboat by Mitch Albom. 106, oh my god, I sounded like I was about to start a radio station commercial. 106 is Mr. Mercedes by Stephen King, and I actually picked this up in Portland. Now that is all I have for today's video because I really need to start cleaning up my room, because if my parents see this, they will have a panic attack and I will die. What are you doing? Come here. Say hi. No, he's scared of the camera again. Oh, you want to sit right here? Thank you guys for watching today's video, and I will see you in the next. Bye.